can imagine how I felt this afternoon. While I was out there in the war front trying to rescue Nigerians, the Nigerian Labour Congress and TUC went disrupting every AP's flight across the country today. We are losing over 700 million naira as a result of that. For somebody who has contributed so much to the nation, all we got paid for on a day like this, so insensitive of the LLC and the TUC, so insensitive of them, they chose today to disrupt our operations. Why? For something that does not even concern APs. That Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State disrupted their Mayday activities. Therefore, no flight should go to Imo. And APs, they wrote us yesterday that we should not go to Imo. We have a contract with the passengers. Not NLC or TUC has no right whatsoever to instruct an airline not to obey the contractual relationship or obligations they have to their passengers. They don't have that right. It is a shame to this nation that the security agencies we are watching while an airline that is out there doing all it can for the nation was being barged upon with some people wounded, making sure our operations were destabilized. Posting delays, massive delays and massive cancellations. Who is going to bear the brunt? And while the security agencies sat and watched, yet this same airline is out there in Egypt risking the lives of their crew and expending hundreds of millions of naira on behalf of this country. They chose such a day. Something should happen because we are not going to let this go down. We must recover all we lost today. We must recover it. If something is not done, then this country is a joke. For what happened today, the airport vicinity is supposed to be sacrosanct. It's supposed to be a sacred place all over the world. You do not even shout in airports all over the world, they pick you up. Not to talk of a situation where people go into the tarmac, go into the apron to destabilize an airline. What if somebody throws a spanner into one of those engines? That is an air crash waiting to happen. And we continuously allow things like this to happen in this country in the name of unionism.
Well, this is what you can get in a failed state. Nigeria is a failed state. It's not a country, okay? Yes, the moment you leave what they're doing, what you're supposed to do to serve a failed state, what you get in return is failure. What you get in return is hatred. Yes, because the animosity against Nnamdi is too much. It still boils down to tribal thing. Yes, because governments ought to have made statement and talked about how they will repay APs. They shouldn't allow him to make this video in the first place because world will hear it. APs has been so good and great to this contraption called Nigeria, has been up and doing, using his God-given mind, God-given business to serve them free of charge. Yes, what they pay him with is abandoning him in the hands of NLC or something, Nigeria Labour Congress, that they're observing their May Day, whatever. They now said, okay, because of that, all the flights, all the appointments cancelled. For who and by who? Who is that? Who will bear the cost? I mean, why that? You see, Dangote, you dare not do that to Dangote because, number one, Dangote is a sacred cow. Of course, a Fulani man. That's why he's a sacred cow. Everything he does prospers because they even use Nigerian money to sponsor him, to make sure he will bear that name, the richest man in Africa, being the world. I don't know why they've not got to that point of being the richest in the whole world, because he's the only one doing business with every other person's money. He's the only one doing business. They gave him the monopoly of business, yes. Then all the Igbo businessmen and women, they're being truncated. Bills upon deals as to how they can stop their businesses or how they can belittle them or how they cannot thrive has been on and on in this contraption called Nigeria. Now, Onyema'S is crying when the head is chopped off. Crying, oh, if this is not addressed, then Nigeria is a joke. Upon that, the government has kept adamant. They've kept mute. They will not want to pay him. They will say, oh, you're even telling us you are making over 700 million per day? Oh, in 24 hours. Is that what you're making? Now they want to come after him. They will come after him for making this video because he has disgraced them that Nigeria is a joke. It is a joke. Serve Fulani and come back in shame. Prior to the cancellation, the abrupt cancellation of what somebody has scheduled for weeks, months, if it's in a sane country where things are being done normally, they should have announced that they would do such a thing. Nobody would dare, fixing or taking up schedules for flying. Nobody would do that. You understand? But Nigeria is not working. Of course, they are protesting because their salaries are not being paid. They're protesting because Nigeria is happening to them. So you now, their own protests can't disturb your own. Make you know say Nigeria no dey work. All of you put together, you're together in it. NLC protesting and then hit Onyema very hard. And up till now, government has not made any statement, to apologize to Onyema, to compensate him. But you know what happened in Kogi? No, I think it's Kogi, where Dangote cement plant, the native ones there, indigenous people said that the cement was disturbing them. Due compensation, immediately they disrupted Dangote's work. I think for 1 day or two. Come and see this government released statement. They went there and scattered those people. It's because Dangote is a Fulani man. If you don't know it now. So they are turning the indigenous people to slaves. It's Fulani people. When we are talking about Nigerian government and we are talking about Fulani government, know that Fulani just hijacked power. Nigeria is not the way it's supposed to be. It's not being ruled by people that are supposed to rule Nigeria. So Fulani took over power, and that is why we call it Fulani government. You understand? Onyema, please, do not cry. Don't cry so much. You called for it. When one is crying, another should cry. Abandoning your people and doing as if you're not from that region or what concerns them does not concern you. You guys don't make statement as to how we can free ourselves from this enslavement or slavery. Then you will have to answer the question of what comes your way. Nigeria is a joke. It is a joke indeed. Have you seen it? So drop your comments on this very video, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.